So I'd like to look at page 526, record 1952. What is the title?
Best ways to dispose of a body - Google search.
What time and date?
This is done on January 1st, 2023 at 4:52:16 a.m.
And that's Eastern Standard Time.
That's correct.
What is the URL?
I'll just do the beginning part. It shows www.google.com/search. The query equals best plus way plus to dispose of a body, showing the client Safari, and then it has a whole list of letters and numbers and everything else after.
And what does that mean?
Well, it shows that it was done. The search was done through Google, and the query words where it says Q equals best way to dispose of a body. That means that the user input those specific terms and hit enter to create the search to happen.
Okay. So beginning at page 527, if we look at record 1956. See that?
Yes.
Okay. And then if we go to page 533, record 1, to page 533, record
1980.
Let me just check it. (1981).
Okay.
Can you explain what the pages are in the title? Can you tell me the title?
Yes. So the title for this one is 10 Ways to Dispose of a Dead Body, in parentheses, if you really need to. It says page 6. So that page 6 means they're on the 6th page of the website. So the website will break it down so you're not scrolling a million pages long. So you're usually at the end of the page, you'll see next page, you'll click that, and it goes to the next part of the website for the story or however it goes. So that page 6 indicates that they're on the 6th page of the website, and they do this for advertising reasons and, like I said, keeping things short or concise.
So earlier in the records, if we had started at page 527, 1956, that was page 527, 1956 was just regular.
Yes, that's doesn't have a page number, but it looks like it's the opening page to the website for whataculture.com, offbeat 10 ways to dispose of a body.
And then if we went to 528, 1962, what would the title be?
10 ways to dispose of a body, if you really need to, page 2, the 2nd page of the article.
Okay. So what does that indicate?
That the user clicked to go to that next page, showing that also that the visit count is 4, so it's the user's been there before.
Thank you. Looking at page 534, record 1986. What is the title?
How long before a body starts to smell? Google search.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 4:55:25 a.m.
And what does Google search indicate there to you?
Again, that the user input how long before a body starts to smell and did the actual web search.
Looking at page 547, record 2029. What is the title?
How long for someone to be missing to inheritance? Yahoo search results.
What time and date?
That was on January 1st, 2023 at 6:24:44 a.m.
And what does Yahoo search results indicate?
This was done on a Yahoo search engine.
So you previously explained Google search. Can you explain Yahoo search?
It's the same thing. It's just a different search engine that the user can utilize to search whatever they're looking for.
Looking at page 543, record 2014. Can you tell me what that title is?
It's the same whataculture.com article, 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to, page 7.
And what is the time and date for this?
January 1st, 2023 at 5:47:38 a.m.
So what does this indicate?
Again, a user had physically gone to page 7 of this article on the website.
And is this at a different time than had gone to the article pages 1 through 6 that we previously saw?
Yes, I believe there was a 45 or an hour difference.
And if we go to page 545 and 545 into 546, what page does this article end on?
Record 2023 shows it at page 11. Yeah. Does it go to the following page? Yeah, that's where it ends. Yeah, page 11 at 5:48:22 a.m.
And what is the significance of that, seeing that page 11?
As I said, that the user physically went 11 pages deep into this article.
Looking at page 547, record 2031, what is the title?
How long for someone to be missing to be dead? Yahoo search results.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 6:25:17 a.m.
Looking at page 563, record 2082. What is the title?
The title is Tishman Spire, Washington, D.C. Head, Yahoo search results.
And what is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 7:44:46 a.m.
And you are familiar with these searches. There are multiple searches about Tishman Spire, is that correct?
That is correct.
And what is the title of the search on page 567, record 2096?
This is Lowe's dash Google search.
And what time and date is that?
January 1st, 2023 at 7:48:04 a.m.
What is the title on page 576, record 2125?
Uh,
2125, 576.
Should be down further.
Sorry, Ms. Gilman, I know I'm asking a lot.
There we go.
Thank you. What is the title?
Title is How Long Does DNA Last? Which is a Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:33:49 a.m.
Trooper, what is...
Object, Judge, in this, from the sidebar first.
Yes.
I think we were at record number 2125, page 578.
Yes. If we could please have record 2125 on page 578. And for the record, we're showing a PDF, which is the same version that the printed out version of the exhibit, which the jury will have.
All right.
Thank you. What is the title on page 578, record 2125?
How long does DNA last? Dash Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:33:49 a.m.
And there is a line, redirect URL. What is that?
So if you look at the redirect URL is when you explain this. You're going to a website and you click on it, but it redirects you to a separate, not a separate website, but something similar. So if you look, it says, slate.news, it's an article, but it says, is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? So it's similar search terms, but not exactly what you search. So it's redirecting you to similar items. The website's doing that, I should say. It's not the user doing it.
So the browser is sending you to a suggested website?
That's correct. So I'm sure people have done this. Those who haven't, that when you go to type in something in your phone or your MacBook, it gives you those suggested terms. That's similar to what this is.
Thank you. So if we look at record 2127 on that same page, 578, what is the title?
Sorry, 2127 you said?
Yes, please.
Sorry. Is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? ?
What is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:34:39 a.m.
Did the user go directly there, or was the user redirected?
From this, it looks that the user was redirected from the original search term items that they put in.
And did the user stay on that website?
It shows visit count 1. If you can go down just to the next couple, I could tell time difference wise. Down one more. The next search is done approximately a minute later. So it would stand that this website was up for a short amount of time and then the next search was done.
So what does that mean?
They were there for about a minute, and then the next search comes in at 9:35:52.
Thank you. What is the title on page 579, record 2129?
Can identification be made on partial human remains? Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:35:52 a.m.
What is the title on page 583, record 2141?
How to dispose of a cell phone? Google search.
What time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:59:25 a.m.
What is the title on page 584, record 2144?
How to dispose of a computer? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:59:55 a.m.
What is the title on page 589, record 2159?
I am a user on my wife's credit card. She is missing. Can I still use the card? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:29:16 a.m.
What is the title on page 591, record 2166? 6.
My wife is missing. What should I do? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:29:59 a.m.
What is the title on page 592 into 593, record 2170?
Yeah, title is Your Spouse is Missing and You Want a Divorce / Hello Divorce.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:49 a.m.
What is the title on page 596, record 2185?
It's ways to dispose of body parts after murder. Yahoo search results.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023, 11:28:43 a.m.
What is the title on page 597, record 2189?
6 ways to dispose of a body - murder, murder, murder.
And what is the URL?
www.murdermurdermurder.com/blog. 2017 522 6 ways to dispose of a body.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:28:47 a.m.
What is the title on page 596, record 2193?
Patrick Kearney. Google search.
Did you review that search?
Yes, I did.
Who is Patrick Kearney?
He was named the trash bag killer. He would murder victims and throw their corpses away into trash bags.
What is the time and date?
Objection, Judge.
You want to be heard?
Yes.
Let's see at the side.
See this photograph?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it?
Yes, it's one of the two trash receptacles I was responsible for documenting.
On Exhibit 90, it says HAS. Are those your initials?
Yes, sir.
And could we have Exhibit 91? Do you recognize this image?
Yes.
What is this?
It's a trash compactor at the same location that I also documented.
Now, what was done with those two, the trash compactor and the dumpster?
I, like I said, documented it with photographs all the way around, and then we were going to search it at a different location.
And did you go to that different location?
Yes.
Where was that?
300 Forest Street in Peabody. It was Greenworks Republic's transfer station.
Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 107, which was, I believe, file number 6556? Thank you. Now, does this look like where you went to in Peabody?
Yes.
Okay. So once you got to Peabody, what was done with the two dumpster? What was done with the dumpster and the compactor?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, no, my bad. What was done with the contents of the dumpster and the compactor once you got to Peabody?
They were separately transported to this location, 304th Street, and they marked off an area. I documented it before they dumped the trash, and then individually they started with one of the trash receptacles, dumped that, and spread it out so we could go through it and search it.
So, and who did that process? Who dumped it out and searched it?
So the company who transported the receptacles, they're the ones who dumped it, but they put it in a location where we could go through it methodically. The CERT team, which is a special emergency response team, there's about 10 of those individuals who were there to go through the individual trash bags.
And what was the conditions like while everyone was doing this?
As far as
Weather.
Oh, it's January, so it was very cold. And it was outdoor location. Looks like it's indoor, but it's half indoor, half outdoor.
And so when the CERT team would get to a bag, would they open several bags at once, or what? How would they do it?
So they did it methodically. So they each, kind of attacked it together. They went through each individual bag, looked to see, we actually had a meeting about what we were looking for, so they knew what to look for. If they found anything that they possibly thought was of interest, they would flag me down. I would photograph it, and then if it was something that the detectives wanted to collect, we would collect it and spread it out so we can document it further.
So could I, at this point in time, Ms. Gilman, could we have Exhibit 125? So do you recognize this image?
Yes, sir.
Is this one of the bags, contents of the bags that you had to spread out and do further documentation of?
That was some of the contents in one of the bags, yes.
And what's this, bless you. What is the significance of the yellow placard?
That tells me, so as I was spreading things out, each bag got a placard, and then we would know which items came from which bag.
Now, when items were packaged up and brought back to the lab, did they all go to the same person, or did different people enter them into the LIMS system?
So I entered any evidence that we collected for crime scene services, which would be specifically for fingerprinting. I would collect that evidence, and then the detective unit collected anything we weren't actually processing for fingerprints or DNA, and then another person from the forensic scientists unit, also in the crime lab, they collected anything that they would be testing for DNA specifically, and only that.
Okay. And so these items here, were they tested for fingerprints?
They were collected by my lab and sent to the Boston lab because it was their, basically their area that the incident occurred. So they took that evidence and they fingerprinted it.
Now, but you were able to enter these into the LIMS system, correct?
I entered anything that I collected, documented it, collected it, tagged it, and put it in the LIMS system.
All right. I may have a moment, Your Honor.
Yes?
Ma'am, do you happen to have gloves with you? I see a box.
I do.
Okay. Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Okay.
For the record, I'm bringing you some parchment paper just in case you need it.
Sorry.
Do you recognize this object?
Yes.
What is this?
It's one of the bags of evidence that I had collected because I can see my handwriting on it.
And what does it say on the exterior of the bag?
Tin snips by placard 8, and I itemized it 7-9. The LIMS number is 23-00596 with my initials and the date that I collected it.
Could you put some gloves on and open that bag and make sure that the snips are inside?
Do you mind if I stand?
No, go right ahead.
The snips you found at the scene that night?
Yes.
You can place them back in the bag. Your Honor, the Commonwealth would seek to have this marked. The Commonwealth would seek to have the tin snips with the bag marked as the next exhibit.
All right. No objection. The snips in the bag are now in evidence as Exhibit 171. Is that correct?
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Ma'am, do you recognize that bag?
I do.
What is that?
It's a brown paper bag, item 7-10, which I itemized in limbs, and it's a hacksaw, and it was by placard 8 as well.
Could you open that bag and make sure the hacksaw is inside? If it is, could you please do so?
It is.
Without trying to make anything of a mess, but thank you. Thank you. Could you return it back? The Commonwealth would seek to have the hacksaw and the bag marked as the next exhibit, Your Honor.
Objection.
No objection. It's marked and admitted into evidence as Exhibit 172, the hacksaw.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you recognize that bag?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
This is a brown paper bag with a hammer, item 7-11.
And if you could keep your voice up.
Yes, I apologize.
No, that's okay. I have you getting up and doing all that stuff, so that's my fault. Could you open the bag and make sure the hammer's inside? Let me help. Thank you. And that's the hammer you saw that night? The Commonwealth would seek to have the hammer in the bag marked as the next exhibit.
Hearing no objection, it's in evidence now as 173.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Do you recognize this bag?
Yes, sir.
Could you open it and could you tell us first what is it?
It's a bag with packing tape, item 7-12.
Could you open it, look inside, and confirm that the pack tape is inside? And does that appear to be the pack tape that you found at in PVD at the trash site that night? The Commonwealth would seek to have this bag with the packing tape marked as the next exhibit.
No objection.
It is now, the packing tape is now in evidence as 174.
Did you intend to put the photo post? What's that? The photo.
Oh, I think it. Ms. Gilman, could you take that down? Thank you. Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Ma'am, do you see that bag?
Yes.
Do you recognize it?
Yes, it's a brown paper bag with a hatchet in it, item 7-13.
Could you open that bag and confirm the hatchet's inside? Could you please put the hatchet back inside? Could you put the hatchet back inside? And that's the same hatchet that you saw that you retrieved from the trash station at PVD that night?
Yes.
Commonwealth would seek to have the bag with the hatchet marked as the next exhibit.
Any objection?
No objection.
The hatchet is in evidence as Exhibit 175.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes?
Do you recognize that bag?
I do.
And what is that?
It's a bag, actually don't know what's in this. Craftsman shears.
Craftsman shears.
Yes.
Could you open it and confirm the Craftsman shears are inside?
Sure.
Thank you. Are those the Craftsman shears you saw that night in Peabody?
They were.
For the record now, the shears are back in the bag. Your Honor, the Commonwealth would seek to have the bag with the shears marked as the next exhibit.
No objection.
What's the LIMS number on that? Is it 714?
714.
All right, the shears 714 are in evidence as 176.
May I approach one more time, Your Honor?
You may.
Recognize that bag?
I do.
What is that?
It's a brown paper bag with a measuring cup in it, item 7-15.
And could you open that bag and look inside? Is that the measuring cup you saw that night in Peabody?
Yes.
Commonwealth would seek to have the bag with the cup now back inside as the next exhibit.
No objection.
Number 715.
715, the measuring cup is now in evidence as 177.
So I take it you took these items back to the lab and entered them into the LIMS system.
I did, sir.
And you didn't do any further work on these items once they were in the LIMS, once they were entered into the crime lab evidence system.
Correct.
Your Honor, may I have a moment?
Yes?
Thank you. On the measuring cup, there was some dark powder. Do you remember seeing that?
That wasn't like that when I packaged it in the beginning.
And now, in your training experience of working in the crime lab, do you recognize that type of substance?
Seems to be black fingerprint powder.
And one of the reasons you took it to the crime lab was to be fingerprinted?
Correct.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross-exam.
I have no questions.
All right, the witness may step down. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Commonwealth may call its next witness.
Commonwealth will call Richard Atkinson.
Yes, these are the text messages that I provided law enforcement.
Thank you. And who are these text messages with?
They're between Anna Walshe and myself.
I'd ask that this be the next exhibit.
Subject to the prior objections, any new objections?
No, Your Honor.
The text message packet, how many pages is it? Well, I'll have somebody count that.
43 pages.
43 pages. 43 pages of text messages between Anna Walshe and William Fastow are now in evidence as Exhibit 145.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, if I might again approach the witness and stand there for one moment.
You may.
Mr. Fastow, this is a printout that you gave, correct?
Yes.
And if you could just tell us who's in the blue and who's in the gray?
Anna Walshe is in the gray. My messages are in the blue.
Thank you. And in the course of this, you and Anna text some pictures as well. Is that right?
That's correct.
And going to page 578. 40.
Yes.
What is that a picture of?
That's a toothbrush that Anna had given me that she had left at my house, and I had packed it to bring with me to Idaho.
And what does that toothbrush say on it?
It says Cohasset Dental.
And sir, these text messages also discuss intimacy. Is that right?
Yes, I believe so.
And your trip to Dublin?
Yes.
And you also received a photograph, which is in that. Well, you received several other photographs, which are in those text messages from Anna, and one of them is on. Apologize, Your Honor. One of them is with her son, is that right?
One of the pictures?
Yes.
Yes.
And she sent you that, and it says Anna and her son, is that correct?
Yes.
And she's showing you something that can meet her, is that right?
Yes, I believe that's correct.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
And is this that photo?
Yes.
And is that the necklace she's trying to show you?
Yes.
I'd ask that this be the next exhibit.
Objection, Your Honor.
That will be marked, the photo will be marked and admitted as Exhibit 146.
Thank you. And Your Honor, this is blurred per the court's instructions.
Yes, so can I just see it quickly? All right, so can I see counsel at the side of the bench? Walshe's face is blurred out. It wasn't that way in the original, but it's irrelevant to your decision making. So that's why I've instructed that it be blurred. All right? Thank you.
I'd ask that that now be published for the jury.
You may publish it.
Thank you. Did she also send you a photo on New Year's Eve as well?
She did.
I know. Okay. May I approach?
You may.
ask if you recognize this photograph?
Yes.
And what is this a photograph of?
This is a picture of Anna, our mutual friend Jen Mutlow, and one of her children.
I ask that this be the next exhibit.
Any objection?
None, Your Honor.
The photo of Anna Walshe, Jem Metlu, and the minor child are now in evidence as Exhibit 147.
Your Honor, this photograph is not redacted of the child, so I'm not going to publish it at this time.
Okay.
Exhibit 147. When did you plan to return from Idaho?
I was scheduled and I left on January 3rd.
And when did you return from Idaho?
I believe I came back very early the morning of January 4th. I think it was probably right around like midnight or 1 or 2 a.m.
And did you have plans to celebrate New Year's with Anna?
I did.
And when did you make those plans?
When I was in Idaho and she was in Cohasset.
And what were your plans for? When were your plans for?
Our plans were to have dinner on January 4th to celebrate New Year's and discuss our 1, 3, 5, and 10-year plans.
And what had you and Anna discussed about your future together?
We'd had a number of conversations about what a life together might look like, what merging two families would look like, how that might work. But I had always said to Anna that she needed to figure out how she wanted things to be with Brian and what she wanted to look like for her life before, we could make any sort of commitments or decisions.
And did you have dinner reservations for January 4th?
I did.
Did you have dinner on January 4th?
I did not.
What was the last contact that you had with Anna Walshe?
I received a text message from Anna. It was a Happy New Year's message right around the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve, East Coast time.
Did you respond to her?
I believe I did.
And then did you send her anything?
The following day, I had sent her a photo of me showing one of my children how to ski. I had sent her, I think, a waving hand emoji. I think I'd sent a question mark query and then a couple of other texts over the next day or two that were not responded to.
Did you try calling her?
I did.
When was that?
I believe I tried calling her on January 2nd, and it went straight to voicemail. I tried that a couple times, and then I called her from a landline, thinking that she may have blocked my cell phone.
Did she ever answer you?
She did not.
Were you concerned?
I was.
Did you have any contact with Brian Walshe after you sold the townhouse to Anna?
I may have had a call or two with him discussing the townhouse. I don't really recall. It would have been dealing with property matters. And then he called me on January 4th.
And did you answer that call?
I did not.
What did you do?
I pushed the call to my voicemail.
Why'd you do that?
I was in an intimate relationship with his wife. I had not heard from her in several days, and frankly, I was concerned that maybe he had found out and was calling to confront me.
Did he leave you a voicemail?
No.
Did you call him back?
I did not, but he called me a few hours later again.
When was that?
A few hours after the initial call, so maybe mid-morning, noonish. I couldn't tell exactly.
And did you answer that second call?
No, I pushed that to voicemail as well.
Did Brian Walshe leave you a voicemail?
The second time he did.
And did you provide that voicemail to law enforcement?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, I'd ask that the voicemail be the next exhibit.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
The voicemail message from Brian Walshe to William Fasto is now in evidence as Exhibit 148.
Exhibit 148. I'd ask Ms. Gilman to play that now.
Good afternoon, William. This is Brian Walshe. Hope all is going well. I was just reaching out to basically everybody I could. Anna hasn't been in touch for a few days. I spoke to work today. She hasn't been in. They went to the house and she wasn't there, or it looks like she's been there recently. So just wondering if you've spoken to her in the near, recently, like Sunday or the last 2 days. Just so let me know, or if you know anyone that might have had contact with her, calling everyone. So sorry to bother you. Sure, everything's fine, and you can reach me at 617-929-8646. Thanks.
What did you do after receiving that voicemail, sir?
I immediately called Brian back.
And what happened when you called Brian back?
I told him that I was concerned. We had discussed that Anna had been missing since New Year's Day, and I was actually driving at the time that I made the call. I told him that I was nearby the house and that I could stop by the house and check to see if she was there, if that would be beneficial.
And what did you did you do that?
I did.
And how did you get into the house?
Brian provided me the garage code. I opened the garage and entered the garage bay underneath the house.
And was there a car in the garage?
There was not.
Was there usually a car in the garage?
Anna usually parked in the garage, yes.
And did Anna have a car?
Yes.
Do you know what kind?
I believe it was a Volkswagen Taos.
Did she have one car, two cars, if you know?
Just one car that I know of.
Do you know, did you look inside the house?
I checked the door leading from the garage to the house. That door was locked, so I couldn't enter the house.
Did you notice any damage to the house?
I did not.
And what did you do after going to the house?
I called Brian, let him know that there was no sign that she was there, that her car wasn't there. It didn't look like anyone had been home. And then I actually came back later that evening and checked the garage again in the hopes that she might have shown up.
And did you see anything at that time?
No, it was the same.
Your Honor, I approach.
You may.
Do you recognize that necklace?
Yes.
What is that?
It is it's a Gucci pendant necklace that Anna wore frequently.
Thank you. I'd ask that this be the next exhibit.
Any objection?
None, Your Honor.
Do you also recognize...
Marked and admitted as Exhibit 149.
Sorry, Your Honor. Do you recognize anything else in the photograph?
She's wearing a Cartier watch, which was her primary timepiece. And I believe it's hard to tell with the resolution of the photo, but it looks like she's wearing her engagement ring.
Thank you very much. Your Honor, I'd ask that this be published to the jury. Again, this has been blurred at.
You may, and you can publish it electronically, and you can do it the old-fashioned way also.
I'd ask to do it the more modern way.
All right. Go right ahead,
Thank you.
as you wish.
Thank you. You had said that you had communicated with her after New Year's Eve. Did you only text her, or did you also communicate through Instagram or other platforms?
I tried to call her through using the cell phone, the landline in Idaho. I sent her text messages, and I probably messaged her through Instagram, but I don't recall.
No, I'm sorry. I'm specifically referring to when you texted her like Happy New Year at New Year's at midnight. Was that on text message, through Instagram, or something else, if you remember?
It would have been text message or Instagram.
Okay. Thank you. And have you seen Anna Walshe since December 25th of 2022?
I have not.
Thank you, Mr. Fastow.
Cross-exam.
Good morning.
Doctor, you recognize this image?
Yes.
Is that an image of the bag of rugs that you had the opportunity to examine at OCME?
Yes, it is.
The Commonwealth would seek to mark this as the next exhibit, Your Honor, which is file number P10900001.
No objection.
The next image, P109000, is that what you said?
0001.
0001 is now in evidence as Exhibit 181. Thank you. And jurors, we had a change in staff over the weekend and for the rest of the trial. Ms. Blankenship is going to be the court reporter. I know you only see the back of the person, but welcome.
Your Honor, may the Commonwealth publish.
Pardon me?
May the Commonwealth publish the exhibit.
You sure can.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, can we have file number P10900001? So, Doctor, directing your attention to the image on the screen, what is the significance of the 230493 at the bottom?
That is the OCME case number. So 23 was the year, 2023, and then that was the number of cases we'd had up to that point.
And so, Doctor, your numbers, are they the same as the crime lab numbers?
No.
Okay. And if we could take that down, thank you. And could we have what was marked as Exhibit 180 from Friday? And for the record, this is file number PC110198. Doctor, directing your attention to the screen for Exhibit 180, what were the observations you were able to make of this piece of carpet?
This piece of carpet has a large area of red-brown stain on it, and in the middle of this stain was an approximately 1/4 inch long, what looked to be a blood clot.
Could you take that down, Ms. Gilman? Thank you. So, doctor, what is a blood clot?
A blood clot is just blood that has solidified or clotted.
And how were you able to make the determination it looked like a blood clot? What was it that about it that gave you that indication?
It's the correct color, shape, consistency of a blood clot. I've seen thousands of them.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Thank you. Doctor, do you recognize this image?
Yes.
Is that a fair and accurate depiction of a close-up of the blood clot from that section of carpet?
Yes.
The Commonwealth would seek to have this marked as the next exhibit, Your Honor, which is PC 110197.
No objection.
Photo PC 110197 is now in evidence as Exhibit 182. Thank you.
Your Honor, may the Commonwealth publish 182?
You may.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, could we have PC 110197? So, doctor, that's the close-up of the blood clot that you identified?
Yes.
What did you do with that blood clot?
I saved that blood clot in a jar for possible future DNA analysis.
Ms. Gilman, if you could take that down. How do you save it in a jar, sir?
You place it into a plastic jar, and then we, I believe, freeze that jar afterward.
Now, that's two. Your Honor, if I may approach?
You may.
Thank you. Doctor, I'm showing you two images at this point in time. Are those fair and accurate depictions of the next section of carpet you had the opportunity to analyze or look at that day at OCME?
Yes, this was the largest piece.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth would seek to enter the next two photographs as exhibits.
What are the,
File numbers?
yes?
The first would be PC 110204, and the second would be PC 110217.
No objection.
Those two photos now identified by the Commonwealth by their P number are in evidence as 184 and 185.
That's what I have.
Thank you for the correction, 183 and 184.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth may publish these next two exhibits.
You may.
Ms. Gilman, can we have what's now been marked as Exhibit 183, which is PC 110204? Doctor, directing your attention to what's been marked as Exhibit 183, what observations did you make of this carpet while it was being unrolled?
I observed the same types of red-brown stains on the carpet. There were also more areas of clotted blood, and there were also areas with white, clumpy, powdery substance. Some of it was discolored from the fluid that was on it.
And Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 184, which is PC 110217? So close. And doctor, is this the same section of carpet?
Yes.
And now, doctor, on this section, were you still able to observe the red-brown staining and the white substance?
Yes.
In addition to making these observations of the white substance, did you identify anything as far as potential hairs.
Yes.
Ms. Gilman, if you could take that down. Your Honor, can I approach?
Yes?
Doctor, you recognize this image?
Yes,
Is that a collection of hairs that you saw on that section of carpet?
it is.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth would seek to enter PC 110243 as the next exhibit.
No objection.
It's in evidence now as 185, 110243.
And Your Honor, before the commission, the Commonwealth publishes exhibit 185.
Yes.
Ms. Gilman, could we have PC 110243? Doctor, directing your attention to exhibit 185, what did you do with this collection of hairs?
I collected all the hairs that I could find on the piece of carpet, and including this clump, and I put them in an envelope, an evidence envelope, and sealed it and signed it.
And Ms. Gilman, if you could take that down. Now, Doctor, besides making observations of the section of carpet as far as what you saw on it, did you have the opportunity to go through that material and find any objects in it?
Yes.
Your Honor, can I approach?
Yes?
Doctor, do you recognize this image?
Yes, I do.
Is that a close-up of the section of carpet with a hand holding a ruler that you had the opportunity to examine OCME?
Yes.
The Commonwealth would seek to mark this as the next exhibit, Your Honor, which is PC 110208.
No objection.
Photo with that ID is now in evidence as 186.
Your Honor, with the Court's permission, the Commonwealth publish exhibit 186.
Yes?
Ms. Gilman, could we have PC 110208? So, Doctor, directing your attention to this image, whose hand is that?
That is my hand with a glove.
And what is the ruler next to?
Just above the ruler, you can see a metal item that has a loop on one side. It appeared to me to be some sort of jewelry charm without a chain attached.
And, Doctor, around that area, is that white substance, is that what you were talking about as the white powdery substance? And I don't want to misstate you if it's not powdery, but what is that? Was that what you saw that day?
Yes, almost all of these clumps are that same powdery, clumpy substance. Some of them look red and brown and tan, probably because of the liquid that made them clump.
Ms. Gilman, if you could take that down. Thank you. Doctor, what did you do with that piece of metal that you found?
I photographed it, and I also placed it into an envelope and saved it for evidence.
May I approach you?
You may?
Doctor, do you recognize this image?
Yes, I do.
Is that a picture of the piece of metal that you photographed by an envelope?
Yes.
The Commonwealth would seek to have image file number PC 110245 as the next exhibit, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
110245, that image is in evidence as 187.
With the Court's permission, Your Honor, may the Commonwealth publish 187?
You may?
Ms. Gilman, can we have PC 110245? Thank you. So, Doctor, is this the photographing of the piece of metal that you spoke of?
Yes.
And that envelope, is that the envelope you put it into that's in the photograph?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes?
Doctor, there's gloves beneath you. you could put those on. Doctor, I'm handing you a glassine envelope. I'm going to ask, do you recognize the envelope that's inside the glassine envelope?
Yes.
And did you have the opportunity to look inside that paper envelope this morning?
Yes, I did.
Is that the same paper envelope that you put the piece of metal in at the OCME?
Yes.
And the yellow sticker on the exterior of the envelope, what is that number on it?
That's the same OCME number. That was the number of this case.
And on the front of it, do you recognize the writing on the front?
Yes.
And how do you recognize that?
That is my handwriting describing what this was.
And can you look inside the envelope and then ask to recognize the object? Do you recognize the object, sir?
Yes, I do.
Is that the piece of metal that you found in the rug while you were doing your examination at OCME?
Yes.
If you could hold on to it for one moment.
Sure.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth would seek to have the glassine envelope that has the paper envelope and the piece of metal inside the paper envelope as the next exhibit.
Any objection?
No objection.
It's now in evidence as 188.
Thank you, Doctor. You can put it back inside. Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Doctor, did you recognize any writing on Exhibit 188, the piece of metal? Anything that was pressed into it?
Yes, there was an engraving of Gucci on one side.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes?
Doctor, do you recognize that image?
Yes, I do.
What is that an image of?
This is the plastic container that I saved a large amount of this clumped substance and also all of the blood clots that I found.
Commonwealth would seek to have this marked as the next exhibit, which is file number PC 110222.
Any objection?
No objection.
PC 110222 is now in evidence as Exhibit 189.
Your Honor, may the Commonwealth publish Exhibit 189?
Yes?
Ms. Gilman, could we have PC 110222? So, Doctor, this container, what did you do with this container?
I put a lid on this container and then we put it in a freezer.
And why do you put it in a freezer?
For DNA analysis, that's the preferred method of preserving the tissue.
And Ms. Gilman, if you could close out of that. Doctor, did you take any other samples that day while you were making your examination of the rugs?
Yes, I did.
What did you take for samples?
I saw in I painstakingly mushed through a lot of this crumbly substance. And there was one area near one of the blood clots that appeared to have some specks of something that could possibly be tissue. The clumped areas appeared to be tissue at first, or possibly tissue, but upon further inspection, it was obvious that none of this clumped powdery material was actually any kind of tissue. But this one area had very small specks of something that I thought might not be the same type of powder. So I put this area, I saved that for looking at under the microscope.
And how do you do that, sir?
How do you save it? Or
Yes, please.
you put it into a cassette.
And do you have to add anything to the substance to put it in the cassette?
No, but you put the cassettes into formalin. It's like formaldehyde that preserves the tissue.
What happens, and now, you did that with the tiny specks. Did you do that with any other items that day? Make formalin, put things into formalin?
No, I saved the blood clots mainly for DNA testing.
And then I'd like to show what's been previously marked as Exhibit 35. May I publish that to the jury?
You may.
Thank you. And what is this?
This is the stairwell leading to the basement.
May I publish Exhibit 36, please?
Yes.
And can you tell me what this is?
So if you were standing at the bottom of the stairs looking back up towards the kitchen, this area would be to the left.
And may I publish Exhibit 37, please?
Yes.
And what is this area?
The same if you were to stand at the bottom of the stairs looking towards the kitchen, this area is to the right.
I'd next like to show what's now being marked as Exhibit 204, Exhibit 7, SLD 7476, which is a blank area in the basement. May I publish that, Your Honor?
You may.
Can you please tell me about this area?
This area was in the back right corner of the basement if you were to, again, stand at the bottom of the stairs. In this area, there were several stains that I observed for testing.
And do you recognize those white marks on the floor?
Yes, I do.
And why do you recognize those?
That is small pieces of scale tape that I had put down next to the stains that I wanted to test.
And did you label those?
Yes, I did.
Ms. Gilman, can I ask that you focus in on those, please? And can you tell me, Mr. Sheehan, what those are?
These are stains B, C, D, and E. Stain A is upwards and to the right. These are purple stains that I observed for testing.
Thank you. I'd now like to go to the next exhibit, which has been previously marked as Exhibit 205, SLD 7479, which is the ceiling of the basement. May I publish that, Your Honor?
You may.
Can you tell me about this, Mr. Sheehan?
This is the area of ceiling directly above that small area in the basement.
So, what type of testing did you do on the areas that were A through G, the testing that you had shown us through the markers?
On stains A through E, I did the screening tests that I talked about earlier, and all of those results on A through E were positive for blood.
And that was the same kind of screening test that you described previously to us?
Yes.
I'd now like to show what's been marked as Exhibit 206, SLD 2482. This is Exhibit A. May this be published?
Yes.
Do you recognize this?
Yes, this is stain A.
And this is something you previously explained to us.
Yes.
And was this one of the areas that you tested?
Yes.
And was this positive?
Yes, it was.
And was this done, how did you learn that this was positive?
By doing the screening test.
I'd next like to go to Exhibit 207, that being 7487, this being closer up of the purple stains, I'd ask that this be published.
You may.
Thank you. Do you recognize this, Mr. Sheehan?
Yes, I do.
And if I could ask you to zoom in, Ms. Gilman. And can you tell me what you see in B?
Stain B is the purple staining that I observed for testing.
Thank you. Could you go to C, Ms. Gilman? And can you tell me what you see there?
This is stain C for testing.
Thank you. If you could go to D, Ms. Gilman? And can you tell me what you see there?
This is stain D.
And could you go to E, Ms. Gilman? And Mr. Sheehan, could you tell me what you see there, please?
And this is stain E.
Thank you. If we could now go to what's been marked as Exhibit 208, 7536. And I'd ask, and this is the stair, I'd ask that this be published for the jury.
You may.
Thank you. Can you tell me what this is specifically?
This is the bottom step in the basement. The bottom step was broken.
And specifically, what do you see with your writing on it?
On the right side of the broken piece of stairs, there was an additional purple stain. I labeled it as stain F.
And if you could zoom in on that, Ms. Gilman? And is that what you're referring to, Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, I'd ask that you now show Exhibit 38. And Mr. Sheehan, what is Exhibit 38?
This is their stairwell leading to the kitchen with a support beam directly below it.
Below it or behind it?
Behind it.
Okay. And that support beam is significant, isn't that right?
Yes.
And why is that support beam significant?
There was an additional stain, as I labeled it as stain G, that was on the base of the support beam.
Your Honor, I'd next ask that we publish Exhibit 209, which has been previously marked, and it's 7556, and that is stain G.
You may publish it.
Thank you. And what is this?
This is a close-up of stain G.
And so I want to be clear. What type of testing did you do for A through G?
The screening test for the presence of blood.
And what results did you get in A through G?
In A through G, all stains had screened positive for blood.
And how did you identify those stains?
Visually.
And when you say visually, what color were they?
All of these stains were purple in color.
And why were they purple?
The crime scene services section during the scene exam was using a chemical called LCV, and this chemical leaves behind a purple residue and is known to turn potential blood stains to the color of purple.
And when had crime scene services used that chemical?
Earlier in the day during the scene exam.
Was that before you began to go into the basement?
Crime scene services section uses it for their scene examinations.
And how does LCV impact your testing?
At the scene, LCV does not have an impact. However, in the lab, it is known to hinder the confirmatory test for blood.
What does that mean?
The confirmatory test is done as a second test on stains in areas that had screened positive for blood. As a result, we can confirm the presence of blood. and this LCV chemical is known to, even on positive samples, give a negative result.
So how do you compensate for that in the lab?
In the lab, even if a stain has tested negative for blood, a sample would still be prepared for DNA testing.
So what do you do with a stain once it has screened positive for blood?
The stain itself would be transferred onto a set of swabs for collection and transported to the lab for analysis.
And how is that done? What is a swab?
The swabs are very similar to almost like a Q-tip on a wooden stick, and each sample is packaged in its own manila envelope and then stored in its own container.
So leaving, do you need a second? You okay?
Yep.
Leaving the basement, can you please describe the second floor of the home?
In the second floor, I examined the two bathrooms, which included a master bathroom from one side of the house and a secondary bathroom to the left.
Okay. And what areas did you test on the second floor?
Both of the sinks as well as the showers. There was also a pair of black and blue cleaning squeegees.
Okay. So did you test the drains and the basins?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And how did you do that testing?
The screening test was also the same one that I have been using throughout the day.
And what were your results?
All of these areas had screened negative for blood.
And what time do you think you left the house at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset?
Approximately 4:45 in the afternoon.
And were you done with all of your testing?
I was not.
So what happened to the house?
At the end of the day, the decision was made to secure the house, and we would return the next day to continue our exams.
And did you return to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
Yes.
And when was that?
The following day on January 9th.
And where did you start on January 9th of 2023?
On the second floor in the front left bedroom.
Okay. And what observations did you make to the front left bedroom?
The bedroom itself was clean overall, aside from a pile of clothing on the floor. I had also noted an area of, it seems like a white residue, and in an area that the varnish on the floor appeared to have been removed.
At this time, I would like to show what's been previously marked as Exhibit 210, which is 7765, that bedroom that Mr. Sheehan just described, and publish it for the jury.
You may.
Thank you. Mr. Sheehan, can you describe what you were talking about with the white residue and the varnish, please?
On the area on the floor directly above the MSP placard number 10 and to the bottom right of the pile of clothing is the white residue on the floor.
Is the white residue that you're discussing?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the other area that you were discussing?
It was that same area, the white residue, and that same area appeared the varnish on the floor looked like it had been removed.
And how was the varnish flooring for the rest of the room?
It still had a glossy, shiny coat to it.
Were there any other varnish issues?
Not that I recall.
And did you do any testing in this room?
I did.
And where did you do testing?
Testing was on two additional red-brown stains that I had observed on one of the window curtains, as well as on the purple stain noted with MSP placard number 8.
And what kind of testing did you do?
The screening test for blood.
And what were your results?
On these stains, I had labeled them as stains H and I, as well as MSP placard number 8, were all negative.
And H and I were the windows?
Yes.
Okay. And did you go back to the room later?
Later on, yes.
Okay. And why did you go back to that room?
At that time, the decision was made to, the crime scene services section was going to remove a portion of the floor so I removed myself from that area so they could remove the flooring.
And did you direct them to remove the flooring?
No.
And so did you go back after that was done to look at the room?
Yes.
Okay. And at this time, Your Honor, I would like to show Exhibit 211, which has been previously marked, and that is 7808. And I would ask to publish that with the flooring removed.
You may.
Thank you. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
And is this the area you're talking about that was removed by Crime Scene Services?
Yes.
Okay. And did you do further testing?
I did not.
Why not?
There was no visible staining for testing after the Crime Scene Services section had done their exam.
So while Crime Scene Services worked on the floor, what did you do at that time?
I returned to the basement for a second exam.
Why did you return to the basement?
It's not often where I get to re-examine an area that I had already examined, so I wanted to go back to see if I had missed anything.
And what, if anything, were you looking for?
Potential blood stains.
And where did you first go?
At the top of the stairs, looking down, I observed a red-brown stain that I had labeled as stain J on the wall of the stairwell directly into the doorway.
At this time, Your Honor, I'd ask to publish exhibit, which has been previously marked as 212. That would be 7793, that being stain J.
You may.
Do you recognize this?
Yes, this is the area of stain J.
Ms. Gilman, can you zoom in just a little bit, please? Thank you. And where is stain J?
Stain J is to the right of the scale. It is not visible in this photo.
Okay. And what did you do with the stain?
I did the screening test for the presence of blood.
And what were the results of the screening test?
The screening test was negative.
And then where did you go?
I continued down to the basement.
Okay. And where did you go in the basement?
I returned to an area of black trash bags as well as that back right section that I had examined the day before.
At this time, I would ask to publish Exhibit 213, 7797, the area that Mr. Sheehan just described with the black trash bags.
You may.
Do you recognize this area?
Yes, I do.
And what is this area that you're talking about?
This is an area in the basement that was a little to the left of the area that I examined the day before, towards the back wall.
And I would also ask to publish Exhibit 214, 7802, which is a close-up of that area.
You may.
Thank you. What is this area?
This is the stain identified as stain K.
And what testing did you do of stain K?
I did the screening test for the presence of blood.
And what was the results of that?
The result was positive.
And what did you then collect?
A sample using a set of swabs was collected from the stain.
Did you collect anything else from the home that day?
That day, no.
Thank you. So what did you do with the swabs that you collected from the house at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset on January 8th and 9th of 2023?
I had brought these swabs back along with the knife from above the refrigerator back to the lab to be submitted.
For what?
For DNA analysis.
And what did you do with the swabs at the lab once you got there?
The swabs were submitted into our computer system called LIMS.
And were they given a number?
Yes.
And what's the lab number that they were given?
The lab number for the case was 23-00596.
And is that a unique lab number for this case?
Yes.
And how is the lab number kept?
The lab number is kept identified for each individual case in our computer system.
So aside from the collection of evidence at the house, did you then do further work at the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab on this case?
Yes, I did.
And what procedure do you follow to ensure that you prevent contamination?
In the lab, I work on one item at a time, and in between items of evidence, I will use bleach to clean my work area and any tools that I'm using, and as well as wearing PPE, which would include gloves, a mask, and a lab coat.
How do you keep your actual station clean, and what do you use on your actual station?
Bleach.
And why do you use bleach?
Bleach is known to destroy DNA.
Do you use any kind of paper on your station?
We use a large piece of paper, which we call butcher paper.
Did you do lab work on the items you brought back from 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway alone, or did you do lab work on other items as well?
Other items as well.
So what was the first item that you examined in this case?
Item number 1-1.
And what was item -1-1?
This was a set of swabs from red brown stain A in the basement.
And what testing was done?
I did a confirmatory test to confirm the presence of blood.
And how does that confirmatory test work?
The test itself is very similar to a pregnancy test, where a small amount of sample is put into a test solution, and then that test solution is put onto a test card. After a period of 10 minutes, if there's one line, the test is negative. If there's two lines, the test is positive.
And what was the result?
Confirming the presence of blood was negative.
So what was done with this item?
In this particular case, because the LCV chemical was used at the crime scene and the stains were purple, I preserved the sample for DNA testing as item number 1-1.1.
So that was the number that it was given for DNA?
Yes.
Okay. And did you assign any of that sample for DNA testing?
Yes, I did.
And was that the one that you assigned?
Yes, 1-1.1.
Okay. And did you examine item 1-8, the knife from the kitchen?
Yes, I did.
And what testing was done?
I did not do any further testing. I did a collection for potential DNA analysis.
Okay, why didn't you do any testing?
In order for a complete lab exam to be done on an item, there needs to be a visible stain in order to have enough testing for the confirmatory test as well as DNA testing. In this particular case, because there was no visible staining on the blade, the sample needs to be treated as something called quantity limited or QLIM, where the entire sample needs to be used for DNA testing.
So what was done with this item?
A sample was collected from the knife blade as well as from the handle.
And was it preserved for DNA testing?
Yes.
Okay. And why was that preserved?
To answer any type of forensic questions.
I want to ask you about item 5-1, which was swab K from the basement floor?
Correct.
What testing did you do on swab K from the basement floor?
I did a confirmatory test for the presence of blood.
And what was the result of the confirmatory test?
The confirmatory test was positive, confirming the presence of blood.
And I'm sorry, I should have shown you Exhibit 215, Exhibit Image 1205, which is the knife. May I publish that?
Okay.
So this was the knife that you just told us about, that
Yeah.
you was QLIM.
Yes.
Thank you. And now I'd ask to show Exhibit 216, image 1066, which is the swab K.
You may.
Thank you. This is the swab that you described?
Yes.
Thank you. And then you said that it was positive, and I'd ask next to show Exhibit 217, image 1067, which is the positive test.
You may.
Thank you. This is that, for lack of a better term, like pregnancy test that you described to us earlier?
Correct.
And this is how you know if the test results are positive, is that right?
Yes.
So, when you're saying that this is indicating positive for human blood, why are you saying that it's indicating positive for human blood?
The test itself, while it does confirm the presence of blood, there are other types of animal blood that will give a positive result, which include ferret blood as well as various types of primates.
So why did you not do the screening test for the swab?
The screening test was done at the crime scene, at the house, during the original collection of the sample.
And so what did you do with this sample?
The sample was preserved for DNA testing and given item number 5-1.1.
And was this assigned for DNA testing?
Yes.
And what was item 7-9?
7-9 was a pair of tin snips. 7-9 was a pair of tin snips.
At this time, I would ask to publish Exhibit 218, image 1081, from the lab, the tin snips.
You may.
And Mr. Sheehan, you recognize these photos, correct?
Yes.
And why do you recognize these photos?
These are the photos that I took in the lab of the items. They have the case number, my initials, the item number, and the date I worked on them.
And what testing did you do?
There was no visible staining on the blades, so I did the screening tests for blood, and the on the blades was positive.
And why didn't you do the confirmatory testing?
There were no visible stains to do further testing.
So it's the same reason that you gave us before?
Yes, as a QLIM sample.
Thank you. And you said that this was positive for blood?
The blades had screened positive.
And what was done with this item?
A sample was preserved from the blades as well as from the handle.
And what was 7-10?
7-10 was a hacksaw.
I would ask to publish Exhibit 219, image 1085.
That's the image of the hacksaw.
I'm sorry, yes, Your Honor, it's the image of the hacksaw.
You may publish it.
And what test did you do on the hacksaw?
There were 3 areas that identified for potential testing on seemed like a tannish brown debris. The first one was on area A, which is on the blade at the end, on the opposite side from the handle. Area B was on the frame next to the handle, and area C was on the blade where it attaches to the frame adjacent to the handle.
And what testing for all of those areas?
I did the screening test for the presence of blood, followed by the confirmatory test for blood.
And what were the results on those 3 areas?
On all 3 areas, A, B, and C, the tests were positive, confirming the presence of blood.
What did you then do?
Samples were preserved from each individual area, A, B, and C, as well as from the handle.
What numbers were the samples given?
The sample that I had assigned for DNA testing was from stain C, which was 7-10.3.1, as well as a sample from the handle, which was 7-10.4.1.
I'd next like to talk about 7-11, the hammer. I'd like to show you Exhibit 2020 and publish it, that being image 1092, that being the hammer.
You may show that.
Mr. Sheehan, what test did you do on the hammer?
I did the screening test for blood on the hammerhead and face area.
What were the results?
Screening test for blood was positive on the hammer face.
And what did you do?
Samples were preserved from the hammer face as well as from the handle.
And why did you only do the screening test here?
There was no visible staining on the hammerhead.
So am I correct in assuming that when you only do the screening test and not the confirmatory test, it is always going to be for that same reason?
Yes.
Meaning I don't need to keep asking you the same question?
Correct.
7-13, the blades and frame from the hatchet, that being Exhibit 221, image 1099. Could we please publish that for the jury, Your Honor?
Okay.
What observations did you make of this hatchet?
There was no visible staining. However, on the hatchet head, I did note some sort of greasy and oil-like substance.
Why is that significant to you?
In my experience, whenever a cutting instrument is used on an individual, it can leave behind this greasy and oily substance, which is indicative of fatty tissues.
Objection.
Overruled.
What testing did you do?
I did the screening test for the presence of blood on the hatchet head.
What were the results?
The screening test was positive.
And then what did you do?
Sample was preserved from the hatchet head as well as from the handle. The hatchet head was given sample number 7-13.1, and from the handle was 7-13.2.1.
And were any of these assigned for DNA testing?
Yes.
Both of those?
Yes.
I'd next like to discuss 7-14, the Craftsman shears, and I'd be referring and asked to publish Exhibit 222, that being image 1103.
May.
What testing was done, Mr. Sheehan?
The screening test for blood on the blades and frame of the shears.
And what were the results?
The screening test was positive in this area.
And what was done?
The sample was preserved for potential DNA testing as well as a sample from the handle.
I'd next like to ask you about 7-18, the Tyvek booties. I'd like to refer and publish Exhibit 223, image 1223, and publish for the jury the Tyvek booties.
You may.
Can you tell me what's in this picture?
This is a picture of one of the booties, a part of item number 7-18.
How many booties were there?
There were 4 in total.
Okay. And what else is in this picture?
It appears to be some sort of insulation as well as painter's tape.
And what does this picture show? Is it everything or just an example or something else?
Since this item was submitted as 4 booties, I took an individual picture of how they were packaged separately so that I could keep track of each individual one.
And is that why there's a number 2 at the bottom of that photo?
Yes.
And what did you do to this?
I performed the screening test for blood.
And what were the results?
All of the testing was negative.
Moving on to 7-20, the sample from the plastic painter sheets. How many painter sheets were there?
If I recall correctly, there was 5.
Okay. And was each painter sheet given its own number?
They were originally submitted to the lab all as item number 7-20, and during the fingerprint process, the analyst had removed and given each sheet its own sub number under 720. The one I examined was 7-20.5.
So I'm going to ask to show you and publish Exhibit 224, Image 1261, the bag of plastic sheeting. Number 5. Ma'am, thank you. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
And is this what you were describing to us?
Yes, it is. This is the packaging for the plastic sheeting.
And then I'd ask to publish and show you Exhibit 225, Image 1264, and have you explain the content of the bag?
You may publish that, 1264.
Yes, Your Honor. Can you describe that?
This is one side of the plastic sheeting. In size, it's estimated to be around 8 feet by 11 feet.
And what observations did you make?
There were 2 areas of light red-brown staining that I observed. One that I gave as Area A was on the bottom right corner, and Area B was on the top left corner.
And what testing did you do?
On Area A, I did the screening tests and confirmatory test, as well as from stain B.
And what were your results?
From stain A, it had screened positive. However, the confirming test was negative. On stain B, the confirming test was positive.
Is there a reason that A is negative and B is positive?
It is possible that stain A was not blood, or there was not enough sample on the swabs I had collected for testing to be detected by the test.
So what did you do?
A sample was preserved from the Area B, which was 7-20.5.2.1.
And was this assigned for DNA testing?
Yes, it was.
So what were items 9-1 through 9-6?
9-1 through 9-6 were swabs that had been collected from a gray Volvo.
And did you examine those swabs?
Yes.
And what did you do to preserve those swabs?
All of these swabs were treated as a quantity limited sample, so no testing was done. They were all cut up and put into tubes for potential DNA testing.
And were any of those assigned for DNA testing?
Yes.
And which one?
Item number 9-4, which was a swab from trunk mat number 1.
And 9-12, I'd like to talk about now, the jacket, the black jacket, and I refer you and ask to publish Exhibit 226, Image 1119.
You may.
Thank you. What observations did you make of this?
There were various like tannish brown stains on the exterior of the jacket.
And were there stains?
Not red-brown. They were tannish brown in color.
And did you do any testing?
Yes, I did.
What kind of testing?
I did the screening test for blood on all of these stains, as well as from all the unstained areas of the jacket.
And what were your results?
Screening on all of the stains, as well as the unstained areas, was negative.
I'd now like to move on to item 9-20, the tape with gauze and red-brown stain. And I'd like to refer to and publish Exhibit 227, Image 0899. May I publish that, Your Honor?
May?
Thank you. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And can you explain what this image is of?
This is a picture of the, it actually turned out to be some sort of like tissue paper or paper towels, but I had rolled them out for a picture of the overall item.
And did you make any observations?
Yes, I did.
And what were your observations?
There was red-brown staining on a lot of the item, so I identified two areas as Area A, which is on the center bottom, and Area B, which is on the top right.
And what testing did you do?
The screening test and confirming test for blood.
And what were the results?
On both of these areas, A and B had confirmed positive for blood.
And what did you do?
Samples were preserved from both A and B. Sample A was given item number 9-20.1.
And was that assigned for DNA testing?
Yes.
I want to move on to 9-22, the white towel, and refer to Exhibit 228, Image 1128, and ask you to identify that and ask to publish that to the jury.
You may.
What observations did you make of this towel?
I noted the red-brown stains on the majority of the towel.
And what testing did you do on this towel?
Identified one of the areas of red-brown staining in the center of the towel for testing.
And what kind of testing did you do?
The screening and confirming test for blood.
And what were your results?
This area A in the center had confirmed positive for blood.
And then what did you do?
A sample was preserved from this area A and given item number 9-22.1.1.
And was that assigned for DNA testing?
Yes.
Moving on to 9-23, I'd like to ask you about and also ask to publish Exhibit 229, Image 1132. May I do that, Your Honor?
Yes, and what's it an image of?
It's an image of the towel, the next towel number 2.
Towel number 2. You may publish it.
Thank you. Could you tell me about this towel, what your observations are?
I noted the large area of red-brown staining in the center and identified it as red-brown stain A.
And what testing did you do?
The screening and confirming test for blood.
And what were the results?
The sample A had confirmed positive for blood.
And what then did you do after sample A confirmed positive for blood?
Sample was preserved for potential DNA testing.
Moving on to item 9-27, the gray slippers. I would ask at this time to publish Exhibit 230, Image 8398.
8398.
Yes, Your Honor.
And is that the light gray polka dot slippers or the dark gray slippers?
The dark gray slippers.
Okay. Dark gray slippers may be published.
What observations did you make?
I noted red-brown stains on both sets of slippers, as well as identifying one as stain A, which was on the top of the left slipper, and stain B, which was on the bottom of the left slipper.
I'd also ask to show Exhibit 231, Image 8399. It's also the same dark gray slippers, just the back of the dark gray slippers.
You may.
Mr. Sheen, can you tell me about this photograph?
This is the bottom of, or the soles of the dark gray slippers.
So what testing did you do?
The areas A and B, A being on the top of the left slipper and area B on the bottom of the left slipper, I did the screening test and confirming test for blood.
And what were your results?
And both of these areas had confirmed positive for blood.
And then what did you do?
A sample was collected from both of these areas as well as from the unstained areas on the interior of the slippers.
If we could go back to the previous Exhibit 230, please. Can you explain where you're talking about the unstained interior?
On the light blue section, I tried to do a collection from the areas that were not stained.
Meaning not red-brown.
Correct.
And why did you take a sample from the interior unstained area?
This is to collect any potential amount of skin cells in this area to help identify a person who may have been wearing the slippers.
And where exactly are you trying to swab at that point?
In this case, for the slippers, it would be anywhere it would be high contact with the feet. So all the light blue areas on the sole as well as underneath where the toes would be.
And why were you trying to avoid the red-brown stains?
To at least limit any type of cross-contamination between the stains and for skin cell collection.
So did you give numbers to any of the areas that you collected?
Yes.
And what numbers did you give?
From the interior unstained areas was given item number 9-27.2.1, and from stain A was 9-27.3.1.
And were those two that you just described, those two numbers that you gave us, were those assigned for further DNA testing?
Yes.
I'd like to talk to you now about 9-28, the apparent hairs, and I'd ask to publish Exhibit 232, image 1200, IMG underscore 1200, that being apparent hairs.
You may do so.
What observations did you make?
On this item, there was a section of red-brown staining in the center of the apparent hairs, which I had done the screening and confirming test for blood.
And what were the results?
The red-brown stain, identified as stain A, was confirmed positive to be blood.
And what did you do as a result of that?
A sample was preserved from this and given item number 9-28.1.1.
And was this assigned for DNA testing?
Yes, it was.
Did you do anything else with this item after the blood testing?
Yes, I did.
And what did you do?
I examined 2 of the hairs for classification.
And how do you classify a hair?
The structure of a hair is very similar to the structure of a number 2 pencil, where the eraser is the root, the outer yellow portion is the cuticle, the wooden portion is the cortex, with the inner graphite section being the medulla. All 4 of these areas under a microscope demonstrate various types of characteristics, and it's these characteristics that are used to classify a hair as a human or animal.
And where do you make those observations?
In the lab using a microscope.
And were you able to classify the hairs here?
Yes, I classified 2 of them.
And how did you classify them?
Again, I pulled randomly 2 of them out of the clump of apparent hairs and to examine in the lab.
And did you classify them as human or animal?
One of them I had classified as being consistent with a human hair, and the second hair was consistent with an animal hair.
I'd ask now to publish Exhibit 233, image 0018, that being a hair number 1.
You may.
Mr. Sheen, can you tell me about this image?
This is the root of the hair that I identified as being consistent with a human hair.
And you said this was the root?
Yes.
And can you tell me why you characterize it as human hair?
Due to the nature and the shape of the root itself, as well as other characteristics from the shaft and the medulla.
I'd ask to publish the next exhibit, 234, image 0022, that being hair number 2.
You may.
Mr. Sheehan, what is this hair?
This is the root area of the second hair that I identified as being consistent with an animal hair.
And can you explain why you believe you were able to characterize this as an animal hair?
Along with the shape of the root and the characteristics of the scales and the medulla on this item, identified as being consistent with an animal hair.
I'd like to now move on to 9-30, the sample from the stain on the wipe from bag 4 and the sponge. And I'd ask to publish exhibit 235, image 1195.
And generally, what is 1195 of?
The sample from the stain on the wipe from bag 4 and the sponge.
You may publish it.
Do you recognize this, Mr. Sheehan?
Yes, I do.
And what observations did you make?
There were red-brown stains on the wipe, as well as there being these yellow-brown debris on the sponge.
What tests did you do?
I did the screening test and confirming tests for blood on the wipe portion, and the screening test on the yellow-brown debris on the sponge.
And what were the results?
On the area A from the wipe had confirmed positive for blood, and the yellow-brown debris on the sponge was positive as well, and that was preserved as a Q-lim sample.
And then what did you do?
Samples were preserved for potential DNA testing.
I now would like to move on to 9-31, the cutting of the piece of rug from bag 5, that being image 1110. And that's exhibit 236. And I'd ask to publish that, Your Honor.
You may do so.
Do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
And what observations did you make?
This is the underside of the piece of carpet that had red-brown stains on it.
And what testing did you do?
I did the screening test and confirming test for blood.
And what were the results?
The stained area had confirmed positive for blood.
And as a result, what did you do?
A sample was preserved from this item as item number 9-31.1.
And was this assigned for DNA testing?
Yes.
Looking next at 9-32, the Tyvek suit. I'd ask to publish exhibit 237, image 8388.
You may publish that, 8388.
Mr. Sheehan, what observations did you make of the Tyvek suit?
There were several areas of red-brown staining, both on the exterior and the interior.
I'd also like to publish exhibit 238, image 8390, which is another angle, another side of the Tyvek suit.
You may.
Do you recognize this, Mr. Sheehan?
Yes, I do.
And can you tell us what you see here?
There was 2 areas of red-brown staining on the leg portions.
And I'd also like to show Exhibit 239, image 8391, another image of the Tyvek suit.
You may.
And can you tell us what you see here?
This is the exterior front of the Tyvek suit.
And finally, Exhibit 240, image 8392, a bag of the Tyvek suit.
You may.
Ms. Gilman, 8392. Thank you, Ms. Gilman. And do you recognize that?
Yes, this is the tag on the Tyvek suit.
Thank you. So, what observations, you told me about your observations, I apologize. What tests did you do?
I identified 4 areas of red-brown stains for further testing, A through D. A and B were on the exterior front pant legs. Area C was on the back right ankle, and area D was on the interior right sleeve.
And so what testing did you do?
The screening test and confirming test for blood.
And what were your results?
On all 4 areas, A through D had confirmed positive for blood.
And I'd ask to show Exhibit 241, image 8393, that showing those results.
You may. Show the results.
As a result, what did you do?
Samples were preserved from each one of these areas, as well as from the interior sleeve cuffs of the Tyvek suit.
And why did you take a sample from the interior sleeve cuff?
This is very similar to the reason why collecting from the unstained areas of the slippers. This is an area of high contact with the skin, so this was done for the collection of skin cells to identify a person who may have been wearing it.
And were any of these assigned for DNA testing?
Yes.
And can you tell me which ones were assigned for DNA testing?
Samples number 9-32.1.1 was the sample from the interior sleeve cuffs. 9-32.2.1 was the sample from stain A, and 9-32.5.1 was the sample from stain D on the interior sleeve.
Moving on to 16 -1, the rug. I'd ask to show you Exhibit 242, image 1143, and publish that to the jury.
You may publish that image to the jury.
What observations did you make of this rug?
I noted an area of red-brown staining on the left portion of this piece of carpet.
And what testing did you do?
The screening test and confirming test.
And what were the results?
The stain area A had confirmed positive for blood.
What did you do?
A sample was collected for potential DNA testing.
Moving on to 16.2, I'd ask to publish Exhibit 243, image 1148, a different 16.2, that being a sample from portion of rug 2.
All right, you can publish that, 1148.
What did you note on this? What observations did you make?
There were several areas that identified for testing stains A through F.
And what testing did you do?
The screening tests and confirming tests.
And what were your results?
On stains B through F, the screening test was negative, and on stain A, it had confirmed positive for blood.
I'd like to talk about 16-3, a sample, that being rug number 3. I'd like to show you and publish to the jury Exhibit 244, image 1153.
You may do so.
What observations do you make, Mr. Sheehan?
I observed a large amount of red-brown stains. On the left portion of the carpet is where I identified as stain A.
And what testing did you do?
The screening and confirming test for blood.
And what were your results?
The area of stain A had confirmed positive for blood.
And as a result, what did you do?
A sample was collected for potential DNA analysis.
Moving to 16-4, a sample of rug number 4. I'd ask to publish Exhibit 245, image 1158.
May publish 1158.
Thank you. What observations did you make, Mr. Sheehan?
There was an area of red-brown staining on the bottom of this piece that identified for testing as stain A.
So your testing, you did do testing?
Yes.
Okay. And what were the results of your testing?
On this area, stain A had confirmed positive for blood.
And did you preserve it for DNA?
Yes.
Moving to 16-5, rug number 5. I'd ask to publish Exhibit 246, image 1163, Your Honor.
You may do so.
Thank you. Mr. Sheehan, what observations did you make?
There was an area of red-brown staining on the left portion of the carpet.
And what testing did you do?
I did the screening and confirming test for blood.
And what were the results?
This stained area A had confirmed positive for blood.
And as a result of that, what did you do?
A sample was preserved for potential DNA testing.
Moving to 16-6, rug number 6. I'd ask at this time to publish Exhibit 247, image 1176 from rug number 6.
You may publish that image, 1176.
Thank you. What observations did you make?
I noted the red-brown stains on the bottom left corner of this piece of carpet.
And what testing did you do?
The screening and confirming test.
What were the results of your testing?
This area had confirmed positive for blood.
And what did you do?
I preserved a sample from this area for potential DNA testing.
Moving on to 16-7, rug number 7. I'd ask to publish Exhibit 248, image 1180.
You may publish image 1180, rug 7.
And Your Honor, in that same vein, from rug number 7, the other side is 1181, Exhibit 249, if I could also use that one as well.
You may. The reverse side is in evidence now, 249, 1181.
Starting with this image, can you please tell me what you see?
I noted an area of red-brown stains as stain A on the bottom left corner, as well as an area of stain B that is in the center of the white powdery residue that you see.
And if we could just look at the back as well, what observations did you make here?
On the top left corner is the backside of that stained area A, and in the center with the white powdery residue, with the opposite side was stain B.
And what testing did you do?
On both stains A and B, I did the screening and confirming test for blood.
And what were the results of your testing?
Both stains A and B confirmed positive for blood.
And were numbers assigned to these samples?
Yes.
And what were those?
For stain B, which I had sent to DNA for testing, was 16-7.2.1.
I should have said, as a result of their being positive, did you take a sample to send to DNA?
Yes.
Okay. And so what were those numbers?
For the area from stain B was 16-7.2.1.
And was anything assigned to go to the DNA testing? Was that 16.7.2.1?
Yes.
Was anything else with this item?
Yes, I had collected a small amount of the white powdery substance to send to another unit for identification.
Looking at 16.12, I apologize. And I'd ask to publish Exhibit 250, image 1187, that being hair. May I do that, Your Honor?
You may do so.
What did you do to examine this?
I examined 5 random hairs from this clump for identification.
And what tool did you use?
I used a set of tweezers to remove it from the sample and then visualize the items underneath a microscope.
And what classification did you make?
On all 5 pieces of hair that I removed, all 5 had classified as being consistent with a human hair.
And you used the same technique that you described to us earlier?
Yes.
So after you finished with the testing for blood and looking at the hairs, what did you do next?
I would write my report for all my findings, as well as assign DNA items for analysis.
And what is the next round of testing at your laboratory?
The next section for DNA samples would be the DNA unit.
And what does go on for testing?
Any samples that are assigned by the criminalist working on the case.
And how is the determination made as to which items to send for DNA testing?
When the criminalist is examining the case, they try to select the samples that have the most amount of forensic relevance and answer as many forensic questions as possible.